What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday we hit a 3-3. It was a slight loss day. There was one game that really ruined it. I'm going to show you the replay of very quickly on what happened. I'm going to show you the three slips that did hit, and then I'm going to show you one very strong play in the NBA today. Today's going to be a very straightforward play, so just bear with me. It's going to be a very short video. It's going to be a very strong play, but it's very simple to explain. So let me get right into it. So pretty much, again, I made another mistake where I used the same team 3 times instead of 2 times. I completely forgot that I already had placed that bet. So when I went to place it again with the Rockets, they ended up killing my 3 plays, actually. So the Rockets actually went into overtime, and they killed my sweep because we had the Rockets and the Warriors to go on the under. And because they went into overtime, they barely covered that over. So it was a 3-3 day because of that one team that messed everything up. Before I show you the replay of what happened, we did have South Florida that came through for us. Timberwolves came through for us. I actually talked about this play yesterday. And then Morgan State came through for us. So the Rockets actually had a chance to win this game. So the Rockets actually were pretty heavy favorites. They were supposed to win this. They started at the game at a minus 350 or something like that. And towards the end, you can see they got tied right there. They made a lot of mistakes at the end. This was exactly what happened. This guy tossed it up, missed it. And then they went into overtime. Then they went into overtime, and they ended up losing the play, and they barely went over on the over. We had a under 226. They ended up hitting a total of 228. So even with overtime, it was a good read. But even with overtime, they barely went over. So it was a good read overall. It just didn't go in our favor. All right, so it is what it is. We move on. 3-3 day, a slight loss day. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Like I said, I have a 2-leg parlay I'm going to hook you guys up with. I wanted to first show you very quickly how I came up with this play. So what I did is I updated the hell out of this SharpEdge yesterday to look a lot cleaner. So basically, it's today's slate. You can see there's only 2 sports being played from what we're tracking. And then we got the sharp signals over here, and then the line move, and then the poly market and the Kalshi market and the injury report. So for the first thing I wanted to look at is I updated this sharp plays. So right here, these are very high confidence plays. These are not final picks, but this is something you might want to start your research at. So it literally says these plays are strong starting point for your research. Use these tools on the site before you're picking your bets. For our locked in plays, make sure to check out the VIP. Also the Discord, so we can talk about it. So that's the way this is set up. It's giving you very strong leans. This is the plays that you should actually start looking at. At the beginning of the day, I fixed this, I cleaned it up. So I actually do like both of these today. Sometimes I don't go with the ones that are posted here, but it's a very strong indication on where you should be looking at. If you want this tool, it's 2 weeks for free. I'm going to show you the rest of the stuff on how I come up with the rest of this stuff, and it's all within the same tool. All right, now we go into the line move tool, which is also inside the SharpEdge. And then, like I said, if we went back here and we're looking at Portland and Houston on the under, and then the Clippers and the Spurs on the under, then we want to actually go to the line move tool and see what's going on with the line move. So you can also see that this matches. It does say Trailblazers and the Rockets are going on the under. It already went down 3 points. Same thing with the Clippers and the Suns. It went down 3 points. So you can take that for what it is. There's a bunch of other information here. And what this tool does is literally showing you where the sharp money is being pushed and if there's any leans that you should be looking at. These are not final plays. These are just where the books are adjusting to the sharp money coming in. Now, the next big thing I like to look at is the back-to-back report. You can see there's a bunch of back-to-back. What this means is that the teams played yesterday and they're playing again today. So then there's usually a 1-day rest advantage for one team, but in this case, they're even. What this means is that both of these teams played yesterday, so there is no rest advantage. So you might want to look into the under when that happens because both teams are tired. All right, so I'm going to go very quickly on this. Boston has a 1-day rest advantage. Charlotte, Portland, Knicks, Clippers, and Pacers. All of those teams have a 1-day rest advantage. That's also notated over here with the little green check mark, and then the red check mark says that they're on a back-to-back. So Boston, you can clearly see, has a 1-day rest advantage, and they're supposed to win. These are projected scores. So you can see they're supposed to win this by 14. The Hornets is supposed to win this by 6. The Rockets is supposed to win this by 11. Nuggets and the Knicks are actually too close to call. Suns are supposed to win by 5. The Spurs are supposed to win by 12. And then the Lakers is supposed to win by 8. So like I said, today's play is going to be very easy to explain, and it's very strong actually, but just because it's easy to explain doesn't mean it's not strong. So let me just get right into it. So right here, like I said, the Celtics have a one-day rest advantage. They're supposed to win by 14. The line did go from a 10.5 to a 16.5, so that's going in a reverse line move against Dallas. It's going in the favor of Boston. The strength of schedule is pretty similar to both teams, so that doesn't affect these ATS trends. Celtics do cover the spread 70% of the time. The Celtics are 20% on the last. The Mavericks are only hitting at a 20% when they're on the road. And then just a quick glance over here, see how crazy all this green is compared to all this yellow. And then also the win probability, shows that Dallas has a 7% chance of winning this game. Boston has a 93% chance of winning this game. You can get into the deeper research if you want. I already did, so I'm not going to touch on that. Also, the injuries do affect the game, obviously, so the Mavericks do have more injuries. Now, if we scroll down very quickly on this, I'm not going to go through every single one of these things, but just take a quick glance at all this green versus all this red. So all the green is on Boston's side. All the key insights are on Boston. All the shooting analysis is on Boston. Again, over here, the analysis. And then pretty much this is mixed, which is the rebounding and turnovers. But Boston does have the important ones in their favor. So for the first leg of this, I'm going to be taking the Boston Celtics at the -4.5. I'm also going to play another one. If you parlay both of these together, you're going to get the odds of 169. So again, the first leg of this is Boston Celtics at a -1. So the first leg of this is the Boston Celtics at a -4.5. Now, if we look at the Calculines, you can see Boston is actually favored right here big time. Like I said, they have a 90% chance of winning this game. And this is actually heavy money coming in on the prediction markets towards Boston. So again, this tool right here that you're looking at is called the Calculines inside of SharpEdge. It gives you all the information for college as well, and it gives you all the over-unders. Again, if you don't have access to this tool, you get it 2 weeks for free. The link is in the description for that. Now, let me give you the second leg of this parlay. Again, it's very easy to explain. So now, before I give you the second leg of this parlay, please make sure to subscribe. We're about to hit 5,000 subscribers. I'm going to show you the poly market tool very quickly, and then I'll give you the final leg of that parlay. So this poly tracker tool, again, it goes into the SharpEdge. It's inside the SharpEdge, and right here, it gives you all the top people and all their plays currently today. It also gives you their hit rate. So obviously, you don't want to be following people that suck. You only want to follow people that are hitting very consistently and have active bets. So what I like to do is actually like to sort by who has the most money. Then the second thing is I like to look at if they have active bets, that they're not a dramatic number. For example, you'll see 500 bets, 331 bets, 19 bets, 63 bets. I don't care about those. I only care about the people that have sharp. You can see there's a little sharp signal right there. What that means is that they have less bets and they hit a lot more often. So for example, the first one, like I said, is this guy has $1 million in his bank account. Then he has 6 active bets and he's hitting at an 83% hit rate. Plus he has $17 million in profit. So I'm going to just show you his active picks right here. You can see these are all political, but not all of these are political. You got different options over here for all the different categories. I can choose different sports, soccer, for example. I can choose NBA, for example, and so on. I'm not going to get too much deeper into this tool. I just wanted to show you that it does have very powerful information. It actually shows you the profit and loss of every one of these top people that are placing bets. All right, guys, so the second leg of this is going to be the Hornets. I'm going to take them straight up. You can see they started at a 3.5. It's currently at a -7. That is going in the favor of the public. So this is aligned with the public today. The Hornets actually cover spreads 90% of the time. The only thing that sucks right here is that it does say that Miami Heat does tend to cover the spread 66% of the time on the road. But this is not a big deal because they are on a back-to-back and Hornets is rested. So that is going to affect the scoring for the Heat. Plus, they traveled. I did the deeper research, and it does say that the Heat on a back-to-back do have a decent chance of winning at a 60% chance. So that does affect that. Like I said over here as well, on the road, they're pretty good as well. But because you combine both of those, them being on the road and being back-to-back, it affects them big time. Not only that, but you can see the offense is amazing over here for Charlotte. and the defense is not that great for the Heat. So this is pretty much a wash overall, but it does say 72% chance to win for the Hornets. Now we look over here. The Hornets really don't have any strong injuries that are going to affect their scoring. And these guys do have Powell and Rozier that are out, and then Jokic. And then Nikola Jovic is questionable, and Simone is questionable. Overall, I like this play. I did all the research behind it. I really like the Hornets in this position. Now, finally, the last thing I'll mention, and then I'll give you the slip, is I do have one. Then I do have 6 total plays. A couple of these are parlays, and then 3 of these are straight up bets. So overall, I have 7 different bets, and then I'm still going to go through college, and I'm going to maybe throw out 1 or 2 more. I'm not going to overflood myself, because then if the day goes to shit, then I'll lose a lot of units. So you have to limit yourself to how many bets you're throwing out there. If you want access to all the bets right here that you're looking at, and you want the full card, go to the pinned comment. I really do like the Hornets in this position. I'm going to take them straight up. I'm not messing around with the spreads or anything, even though the Hornets do tend to cover the spreads 90% of the time. So I did actually take a separate bet on the spread, but again, that's a separate issue. Thank you guys once again. Again, we crossed 4,600 subscribers. Let's get to 5,000. Make sure you check out the free picks. The SharpEdge is free for 2 weeks. Check out the Discord, is free for 1 week. And please make sure to comment if you have any questions or concerns. And then make sure to comment, keep the conversation going. I'll answer any questions that I can. Thank you so much.